The new geography of global trade. When who can we trust replaces where is it the cheapest? Hello everyone and welcome to Echoes of Change Culture Influx. Before we move on, happy Saturday to all of you. I wish you to relax and to fully recharge your batteries 100% and maybe more for the upcoming week so you can be best prepared to achieve your goals. So what happened? Today is August 15, 2026. And in the last 72 hours, the United States of America has given the clearest signal yet that the organizing principle of global trade is changing. Pay attention, it is not disappearing, it is not collapsing, but only and simply changing. On August 13, President Donald J. Trump signed a presidential proclamation imposing new tariffs on imported unmanned aircraft systems such as drones and their components. 100% on value on drones with maximum take-off weight above 25 kilograms or equipped with thermal imaging, plus their docking station and certain critical components. 25% on smaller drones lacking those sensitive capabilities. And then preferential low rates, for example, 15% on the European Union, Japan, Liechtenstein, Republic of Korea, Switzerland, and Taiwan. And then you have at last 10% on the United Kingdom, but only if substantially all hardware, software, and technology originate in those jurisdictions or from the United States of America. So the main measures will take effect in 21 days. Less sensitive component will take effect in 180 days. The Commerce Secretary is authorized to create an onshoring program for companies investing in U.S. drones manufacturing. The state rational drone from funding by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is explicit on this topic. First of all, the United States is too reliant on foreign sources of UAS and components. Second of all, import penetration is substantial. And third of all, certain foreign entities pose security and safety risks, including, for example, cybersecurity vulnerabilities and unfair trade practices have disincentivized domestic capacity expansion. So drones are framed as essential technology for modern armed conflict and critical to national security.
Before I send, I breathe in. Before I send, I slow my hands. I don't need armor. I don't need plans. I just need you to understand. Before I send, I say it slow. If it lands, I'll let it show. If it breaks, I'll stay with you. Before I send, I choose the truth. There's a sentence.
The same day, the White House Office of Trade and Manufacturing Policy, headed by Peter Navarro, released a 25-page report titled, Pay Attention, The Great Transshipment Scam. It basically accuses more than 40 countries, including major U.S. allies and partners such as Canada, Mexico, India, Japan, South Korea, the European Union, and others across Southeast Asia and Latin America of participating in a sort of shadow transshipment network that helps Chinese exporters to bypass U.S. tariffs. And common processes or methods can include, for example, limited assembly, finishing, repackaging, relabeling, and false origin declarations, so those goods can enter the United States under lower duty rates. So estimates of the annual revenue of such flows range from, pay attention again, roughly 40 billion to 303 billion, depending on the methodology. The administration announced, therefore, it is self-deploying an AI-powered system called Detective Border. I found it quite interesting, integrating shipment data, routing histories, ownership links, production capacity validation, anomaly detection, and computer vision X-ray analysis as at port and score weeks before custom clearance and convert finding into maybe interdiction or duties or penalties or also exclusion. So from my point of view here, at least these two actions are consecutive days. These two actions in consecutive days, are not isolated protectionist move. They sit actually inside a broader data picture, according to the UNCTAD's Global Trade Update for July and August 2026. Global goods trade reached approximately 13.7 trillion in the first half of 2026. This is up to 12.5% from the same period one year earlier, like in 2025, driven in part by higher prices and strong demand in high-tech categories such as semiconductors, batteries, critical minerals, ICT products, and electric vehicles. All right, so trade is still expanding. This is very much clear, at least based on those numbers. Yet the World Economic Forum, drawing on WTO and IMF data, reports that global trade policy activity, tariffs, restriction, and subsidies hit an all-time high in the first 5 months of 2025, nearly double from 2024 levels and about 25% above the 2025 average, the highest peak since tracking began after the 2008 financial crisis. So furthermore, restrictive measures and subsidies dominate. So the surface story might be and can be actually Trump's tariffs again, but from my point of view here, the deeper story is that the operating system of global trade is being rewritten in front of our own eyes, from a primary logic of economic efficiency to a primary logic of geopolitical power and supply chain security. So my question, or the question I would have here to guide us in the next 20 minutes is, what happens to global capitalism when countries, companies, and eventually consumers as well stop asking where can we produce the most efficiently and start rather to ask who can we safely depend on? So let us go layer by layer beyond the first two levels of analysis that dominate most commentary. And with that being said, this is Echoes of Change Culture in Flux. My name is Nelly Bekono, but please call me Nelly. I am your host. Let us dive right into it, shall we?
We don't shrink the shape of thought. We sand the edges of what we saw. Every silence carries